morning, everybody. How are you all doing today?
Pretty good.
Good? Okay, thank you for coming in on this gorgeous day. So today we have a Morris County Church. We have Laura and Ashley. They are going to talk about Project Lifesaver program, okay? So it's not going to be like a presentation, it's going to be like show and talk. So they will hand out brochure and they're going to talk about it maybe like 15-20 minutes. If you have any questions after that, you can ask them. So around 11:30 we will start serving like maybe like a light snack, a wrap and a macaroni salad if anybody is having any questions. And also we will talk about the newsletter for June and July after this program. Okay? Okay.
Yes. My name is Officer Ashley Craig. I'm an officer with the Morris County Sheriff's Office in the Community Outreach and Planning section. And we're here today to talk about Project Lifesaver. Has anybody heard of Project Lifesaver before? Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Has anybody heard of Project Lifesaver before? No. Yes? You have, okay. Does anyone know anybody on Project Lifesaver? No? So Project Lifesaver was created in 1999 by the Virginia Search and Rescue Team, and it's a little tiny transmitter. It's not a GPS, a little tiny transmitter. The Morris County Sheriff's Office adopted that program in 2003 for adults and 2005 for children. To be eligible for Project Lifesaver in Morris County, which is a free program, all that's required is that somebody is diagnosed with some kind of cognitive disorder that makes them prone to wandering. So think Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, Down syndrome, traumatic brain injury, Parkinson's, Huntington's, right? It's a free program, which means that for all Morris County residents, all you have to do, and we're going to give you the information towards the end, is fill out an online application, or we can deliver a handwritten application, and we'll come right to your house and set you up on the program, okay? The person does not have to wander or elope in order to be eligible for the program, right? They only have to have any kind of cognitive disorder that makes them prone to wandering. Right now, currently in Morris County, we have about 160 clients on the program. It's a pretty even split between juveniles and adults, right? Anybody in here know someone with dementia or Alzheimer's? Yes? Do they still live at home by themselves?
Yes.
Yes, right? So this is a proactive program. Like I said before, they don't have to have wandered in order to be eligible for the program. But a simple diagnosis from a doctor is enough. We don't require a prescription, and again, there's no fee attached to it. The Project Lifesaver transmitter is a small plastic piece on a band, right? Hospital-grade plastic band. And that little tiny transmitter inside has a radio frequency disc. Again, so it's not GPS. We are not tracking you 24/7, 365. It is only activated when a caregiver or somebody who lives with a person with autism, Down syndrome, Alzheimer's, dementia, activates the program. And this is all explained to the caregiver when we set them up on the program, okay? But that little tiny frequency disc, everybody has a unique number inside, and that's how we use our ground trackers, and we actually have a drone, and we have an agreement with the state police that we're able to go up in their helicopter with our equipment, with our tracking equipment, to find them, right? On the ground, we can find somebody with our hand trackers that's within a mile radius about of that transmitter. In the air, that search radius actually goes to 5 to 7 miles. So our protocol usually is, and our response time is very good, I must say. We found every single client that's gone missing on the program since the program's inception and returned them home safely. But our recovery time is normally under half an hour. If we cannot find somebody within that hour, okay, the first hour, that's when Laura starts calling the state police and requests that we get the helicopter coming to us so we can go up in the helicopter and use our tracking equipment that way. It's all directional, right? So you'll see us out training or tracking, and we have these giant antennas, and we'll do 360 circles. You know, we'll spin around in a circle, and the transmitter, the tracker will actually show us the direction of the person. It's exceptionally accurate, and we train very hard in tracking, and we have had, like I said, quite a few finds in our time in the unit. The unit is completely waterproof, right? So an officer comes to your house when you send us an application. We go over the program with you, we go over the application with you, we take a picture of the client. Okay, we put that in a law enforcement sensitive database, and then we actually put the transmitter on the person, either an ankle or a wrist. Okay? That stays on them 24/7, 365. The reason being is that if the person wanders, but they don't have the equipment on, we're going to find the tracker, but we're not going to find the person, right? Yeah. And we've actually found that it's much easier to find a person that's wearing that than just the tracker itself, okay? But yes, as long as the person has it on, okay, and the battery's operational, this program will work 100% of the time. Now going back to the transmitter itself, when we put it on, it's completely waterproof. We put a little lubricant inside the top case, put a battery inside, and every day we ask the caregiver to test the battery using a little black box that we give you, okay? When you put the tracker, that little black box, up to the transmitter itself, and it blinks red, it means the transmitter's operational and a signal will be picked up if we turn the trackers on near it, okay? So we have really two responsibilities that are super important every day for caregivers. And I know that the caregivers have a lot on their plate already, but those two major responsibilities are to ensure that the transmitter is on that person's ankle or wrist. Second, to test that battery and make sure it's working. Because if that transmitter is on and the battery is working and that person wanders, we will find them exceptionally quickly using the equipment and our training and experience. Okay? The best part too, again, it's free to all Morris County residents. So the Sheriff's Office, thanks to Laura, we are grant funded, which means that we do not have to charge the caregivers or the families for the use of this equipment. We also come out every month and will change the batteries for you, free of charge, right? Our Project Lifesaver families, they become part of our family because we see them. I mean, we've had clients. How long have you had your longest client for? 15 years. Yeah. 15 years, right? So for 15 years, Laura goes to the same house, to the same family, to change the battery of our families, of our clients, right? My longest, I've only been in the unit for 7 years, my longest is about 6 years. So every month for 6 years, I go and I catch up with the family, and I talk to them about how they're doing. I'm involved in their lives as much as they'll have me. And we also have a caregiver picnic. So every September, actually this year it's in August, but every fall we have a picnic where the Sheriff's Office hosts all the families on Project Lifesaver, and we do it in a safe space, in a safe location, where we can have everybody come, eat. We have a balloon artist, we have a magician, and we all are able to sit down and have lunch together and just share that time and experience. So with that being said, again, free program. We have the information. There's 3 officers in our unit currently. We have about 160 clients on the program. But if you know anybody or are interested in the program for someone that you know or that's someone that is living potentially with you, just let us know. And we'll come again right to your house, set you up on the program, and then you get to see us every month. With that being said, anything you want to add, Laura? With that being said, what kind of questions do we have? I know there's got to be some questions.
I'm a little confused. The device is on the person with dementia.
Absolutely.
That person goes wandering.
Yes.
How does the device get activated?
So the caregiver has to call to activate.
The caregiver can call the police department.
Exactly. So when we set you up on the program, we give you specific activation sheets with big, bold instructions on exactly how to activate the program, right? There's no button on this device, which means the person cannot activate it by themselves. It is just a standalone plastic case with a radio frequency disc inside. That's why also, this is a very important point that I missed, and I appreciate it. The person, in order to be eligible for the program, cannot drive a vehicle, okay? And they must live with somebody. Even if that somebody goes to work during the day, they must live with somebody, because if we don't know they're missing, we can't track them, right? But those are the two big eligibility requirements. They also cannot live in a nursing home. Nursing homes have specific programs that will cover them while they're in that facility. Project Lifesaver cannot based on our grant funding. Great question, though. Thank you for bringing that up.
I have a couple of my neighbors I wish they would wander.
Okay, all right. Wander enough for our city here. So, if a person wears a device, right, it's a hospital-grade plastic band that the transmitter is attached to, the person can cut it off. Okay, they can cut it off. However, we ask for a 2 to 3 week adjustment period. Some of our clients, especially our younger children with sensory issues, right, sensory disorders, they struggle for the first 2 weeks taking it off consistently. We actually have a thing in our unit that we like to say that is their superpowers. So we'll go in and we'll say, okay, we're going to put your superpowers on, but you got to keep it on or you're going to lose your superpowers. And that works 99% of the time for our kids. I'm going to a couple today, and they'll reach their ankle or their wrist right out because they know exactly why I'm there. With our elderly population, we do have people that take it off. They like to hide it in the same places that we found sometimes. Okay? So, I had one client who literally for the first 2 or 3 months she was on the program, she would cut it off 2 or 3 times a month and put it in the same vase in her living room. So by the time, I wouldn't even take my tracker out at the end, I would just walk in, go right to that vase, take it out, and put it right back on her. But now she's been on the program for 5 years and we haven't had that issue. And she was a frequent flyer. She was somebody that would run off. She wanted to go home, but she was home, right? So that was a very consistent theme, but now she'll reach right out and she'll put her ankle or her wrist out and she knows why I'm there. So they can take it off, but it's how we explain it, and it's just time and compassion, really, meeting them where they're at. And just going back and putting it back on. Yeah, it's completely waterproof, and the only time it should come off is if the person is going to the hospital, because the hospital will actually discard it as medical waste, or when we come to change the battery. And we'll take it off, we'll put it right back on. If it's lost in the house, the best thing too is that we can track it if the battery is still operational. So we have a great relationship with our clients. We ask them, like I said, every day, those 2 big things of making sure that it's on them and checking the battery. As long as the battery is still operational, if they lose it in the house and they cut it off and they hide it in that vase, right, we can go into the house and track the transmitter. The equipment is exceptionally reliable, which means that we will find the direction of the transmitter and we can pinpoint it down to, right within a couple of feet of us. And that's just when the searching begins for that little tiny transmitter and not the actual person.
Where do you wear it on your body?
You can wear it on an ankle or a wrist. It has to be affixed to the person, right? It has to be on an ankle or a wrist. It cannot be in a pants pocket or on a shoe. The reason being is if that person takes that, that pair of pants off or that shirt off or that shoe off, we're going to find that article of clothing, but we're not going to find the person. So the program has to be, the transmitter has to be attached to an ankle or a wrist. Any other questions? These are great questions.
How difficult is it to take off and put on?
So it's not difficult at all. It's just a hospital-grade nylon band. So the same kind of hospital bracelet you'll get. It's that kind of thing. It's just a thick nylon band.
Okay.
And it snaps on.
With a little pad on.
Exactly. So once we snap it on, I usually put it on so we can fit 2 to 3 fingers in between the band and the person's arm or leg. Obviously, we talk to the person about, edema and that kind of thing. We make sure that the client is comfortable with it. For our elderly population, I will tell you, 110%, the ankle works the best because you can put a sock over it, out of sight, out of mind. Right? On the wrist, that's when we start running into the issues of people trying to take it off more. But we just work with it. That's it. Explain, explain, explain. Any more questions? Over here?
Why does the battery only last a month? That sounds like quite a bit.
Absolutely. So the battery will last over 60 days. However, just as a precaution, especially because, it's going on a person who is potentially going to wander, we change it every month, just to
They
make sure.
reuse the battery then for the rest of the time?
No, so we purchase all the batteries as well. So we purchase the batteries and we change them. Just because we don't want that one case where the battery died at 45 days and then the person wanders and we can't find it. Absolutely.
Do other counties work with this service?
Yeah, so every county with the exception of Passaic, correct? Every county with the exception of Passaic offers Project Lifesaver. It's also a national program. So our clients who travel, say they're going to Disney, right? We have a whole database, that's where that picture goes and all of your information from the application goes. They can travel, and we can actually contact that law enforcement agency wherever they're traveling and see if they can cover that person while they're there. So yes, it is a national program. I believe most states, if not every state, has at least one Project Lifesaver agency. It's just a matter of, say California. They're not going to be traveling 10, 12 hours to search, but if there's most likely going to be a Project Lifesaver agency somewhere in New York where that person is staying. Absolutely. Any more questions? Come on, this is fun. I'm out of the office. Any more questions, guys? All right, we have some giveaways for you.
Could it be expanded where if a senior citizen falls and he needs help, that you said there's no button, that somehow it could be alerted that they fall?
Yeah, so this specific equipment is only for wandering. And again, it's not the Sheriff's Office equipment, it's Project Lifesaver International. So this device was specifically created for wandering. But we also have tons of resources that we can give to caregivers on life alert type devices, GPS type devices, if the caregiver wants something more than what we can offer. Absolutely.
But they have those at ARP, sir, that you put around your neck, you
Yes.
just push the button.
All right, we have. We have some brochures for you guys, and we brought some giveaways. So Laura is going to pass those out. But if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us. Our contact information is in those brochures as well. And again, we're with the Morris County Sheriff's Office, so let us know if you need anything. All right, thank you guys.